Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you had a nice game. My name's Mike Roberts. I'll be going over four of the prepared hands. Before I start, I'm going to put a copy of the lessons as a PDF into chat. If I can work it out. There we go. Okay. I'll do that again at the end. Um, these are the four hands that I'm going to go over, and I don't think there's plans for Linda to return at this point. I might not be doing it forever, but as far as I know, there's no plans for Linda to return right now. The hands that we're going to go over right now are hands three, four, five, and eight. You're welcome. Um, Let me go away, chat. Share. Yes. Share. There we go. Finally. Okay, finally, we got it. Great. So let's go over these four hands. The theme of the lesson hands was unblocking, little bit mostly by declare. Yeah, I think it's almost exclusively by declare for all of these four hands. So board three is a typical sort of misfit hand with game forcing values. South is the dealer, and they are only have 11 high card points, but they're 5/5. They've got a singleton. They've got good suits. If you follow the rule of 20, which is you add the number of cards in your two longest suits to the number of high cards, that's greater than 20. You have 10 high card 10 cards in hearts and clubs and 11 high card points. So that's 21. That's enough to open the bidding. So South should open one heart. West was probably about to open themselves, but when they bid your longest suit, you're going to need a little bit extra to even consider acting. Um, it's not worth acting here. You've sort of got a balanced hand. You don't have great support for the other suits. Just pass. North bid slow to start with. Let's bid a spade. That's 100% forcing. South bids their second suit. This is West still has to glumly pass. Now, North has enough to get to game. If you just bid 3 no trump over two clubs, that's probably the right spot. So I'm not going to argue with it at all. Um, but there might be a 5-3 spade fit. There might be a 6-2 heart fit. You still want to investigate. And the way that you investigate is when one pair has bid 3 suits and the opponents haven't bid. The fourth suit is what's known as fourth suit forcing. The standard way of playing it is it's artificial, it's forcing the game, and mostly it's looking for a 5-3 fit in responder's suit. But it could be, it's just asking for more information. So two diamonds here, that's an alert because it's an artificial bid. Two diamonds says, tell me more. We're going to game. I'm not sure where yet. Tell me more. The fact that you have diamonds is secondary on this end. Two diamonds pass. South doesn't have 3 spades. They don't have 6 hearts. Better to pattern out with 3 clubs. 2 no trump would be okay, but 3 clubs is pretty. It's tells your partner you're 5/5. If we belong in no trump, we can still get there. But if we bid 2 no, it's sort of tricky to get to clubs when it's right. Pattern out your shape first. Worry about the stoppers third on line. Pass and North's heard enough. They've been 3 no trump. So I think most people will get to 3 no trump. Some of them might have played it by South instead of North, but it doesn't matter too much. Against 3 no, what do we lead? Well, they bid all the 4 suits, but 2 diamonds is artificial. And on this auction, North probably has 5 spades, so you don't want to lead a spade. You don't want to lead one of the suits that South has 5 cards in, probably. Just by the process of elimination, we're going to lead diamonds. And traditionally, let's just lead our fourth best. So South has some thinking to do. Um, Not very many top tricks. There's
Okay,
nothing in spades.
but how
The
do
ace,
okay,
sorry, nothing in spades. The ace king of hearts, the ace of clubs, and the ace king queen of diamonds. That's only six tricks. Hearts has a good possibility of getting a couple more. Clubs has a great possibility of taking a lot of tricks.
okay,
The problem is that the entry situation is really bad. Let's play it straight up. Ace of diamonds, because we want to take let's pretend we want to take the club finesse. If we just take the club finesse, great, it wins. But now we're sort of stuck. We still have the king of clubs to knock out, and we only have the ace of hearts left in dummy. Um, when you take the club finesse, it's blocking the suit. So this is one where you want to not try to take the maximum number of tricks in the suit. You're not going to take five clubs unless you're very lucky. You want to get the ace of clubs out of the way. This is one that I think one of the maxims, especially Linda has said, is you like to play the honor from the short side first. In this case, you want to do that in preference to taking the club finesse. So let's go back and decide what we want to play. Sorry. Okay. Um, it doesn't matter too much where you win trick one, but on the same general philosophy, we like to play the honor from the short side first. So let's play the ace of diamonds first, because that way the diamond suit, we can cash the king queen if we need to. And instead of taking a club finesse, let's just play a low club to the ace and knock out the king.
Dominican Republic.
They can, somebody's got some noise going on. If we could mute that. Whoever's got it. Thank you. Now, as soon as you get in, you can cash the ace king of hearts. Now the three clubs are good and the king queen of diamonds are good. That's 2, 3, 2. That's 9 tricks. The defense still has a chance to beat you on a different layout. They have to cash 4 spade tricks, which would be possible if East had something like king queen 9x of spades. But that would be pretty unlucky. On this layout with the 9 of spades on side, you're going to make 3-no trump. So this was one everybody likes taking finesses, but you got to learn when not to take them. And this is one where you don't want to take the club finesse because it's going to block the suit. You want to unblock by forgetting about taking the finesse altogether. Just treat it as if you had king X. Pretend your ace of clubs was the king instead. You'd play the king of clubs and then you play low to the queen jack 10. Same thing. It just happens to be the ace instead. So that's the main lesson on the play on this one. We tried to illustrate fourth suit forcing, so to give you an idea. But I think most auctions would end up in 3-no trump as long as South opened the bidding, and they pretty clearly should open the bidding. Okay, that was it for that one. You had a no, never mind. That was it for that one. You needed to do that. We've sort of rigged the deck so you go down if you don't. But that's the right play. Okay, board 4. West starts with their pass. North passes. This hand is certainly, if ever a hand was worth a strong opening, this is the one that's worth a strong opening. You have 7 tricks in hearts. Ace king of spades is 9. The ace of clubs is 10 top tricks. So you open 2 clubs. That's gonna keep South quiet. Depends on your methods here, but 2 diamonds waiting is pretty normal. I don't think North should pipe in with 3 clubs. It's just too balanced a hand. You sort of want a club lead, but it's not worth it to bid to go. So let's say you pass here. Now, East can bid two hearts, but what they want to say is, look, we're playing hearts. I don't care what the rest of your hand is, with respect on what strain to play. It's just how high we're going to go. Two hearts by itself would be forcing. So if you open two clubs and then you jump rebid in a suit, that has a very specific meaning. It means we are playing this suit, period, end of sentence. You might wander into six no trump, but you're going to play hearts. I don't care how good your heart support is, but we're playing hearts. And the advantage of doing this is partners' bids are now all Q bids. It's as if we bid and raise the suit, and now we bid a new suit. Three hearts is the equivalent of bidding and raising the suit by yourself. So three hearts says, great, we're playing hearts. If you've got an ace, Q bid it. If you don't, you can just raise to four hearts. Three no trump should be, I don't have an ace, but I've got some values, probably a king, but it would deny an ace. So over three hearts, West can bid four diamonds. That says I've got the ace of diamonds. That's all. You don't know if it's the king or not. It have the king as well, but you have the ace of diamonds, and because you didn't bid three spades and you didn't bid four clubs, partner knows that you don't have the ace of spades or ace of clubs as well. Obviously, they're looking at these cards on this hand, but four diamonds says I have the ace of diamonds, and I couldn't Q bid anything lower than that. So over that, now East can count to 11 tricks. And well, if you didn't get to slam, that's fine. But I sort of rigged it, so we bid let's Blackwood just to make sure. Mostly so we can Blackwood again. If partner had the king of diamonds as well as the ace, we'd want to be in seven no trump. We'd have seven hearts, ace king of spades, ace of clubs, ace king queen of diamonds. So you certainly want to bid five no trump to ask. There's a few different methods of responding to five no trump. The simplest and the original method is you just bid the number of kings you have. So in that case, six clubs would say, I have no kings. A very common method nowadays if is because four no trump said this is our set your key carding in a specific suit. If you're playing key card, people Q bid their king over five no trump. It's called specific kings. And if you don't have one, then you return to the trump suit. So the simple method, numeric kings, six clubs says I don't have any kings. And East would go back to six hearts. If you're playing sorry, specific kings, six hearts says I don't have any kings I can Q bid. You have to risk going back past six hearts if you have the spade king, but five no trump essentially says Q bid a king. Bid six hearts if you don't. It's a better method. It's not as popular and it requires a little more judgment. So I prefer specific kings to numeric kings, but numeric kings is not a bad method. People were playing it for 50 years. It can't be that bad. Anyway, we're going to end up in six hearts. What should we lead? Well, you don't have anything very attractive. We've said lead from a sequence. There's no real reason not to here, even though they've shown the ace of diamonds on your left. And I need you to lead the jack of diamonds to make the point on this hand. So on the jack of diamonds, oh, well, sorry, we have seven hearts. We have the 11 tricks we started with. Seven hearts, ace king of spades, ace of diamonds, and ace of clubs. If we play the ace of diamonds, we we have no hope of taking 12 tricks. The only hope is that they pitch wrong somehow. But we're going to be stuck in our hand at trick two, and you're going to lose a club and a diamond. So let's just go back. So let's play a low diamond at trick one. North will win the king. They might have underled the king of diamonds. You never know. North will win the king. Now, same thing here. If we play a low diamond, we're never going to be able to cash the queen of diamonds and get to dummy and cash the ace of diamonds. 'Cause dummy has no entry outside of diamonds. But they've led the jack. That's usually from jack 10. So here, the queen of diamonds is a burden rather than an asset. You want to get rid of it under the king. And the reason that you want to do that is let's have them return a heart for argument's sake. We can draw trumps. And now our best chance is to finesse the nine of diamonds, hoping they've led from jack 10. That works. Leading from jack 10, especially jack 10-8, usually isn't something that costs a trick, but on this hand it did. But we still recommend leading, if you have two honors connected against a suit contract, lead from the top of that sequence. On this hand, it ends up costing a trick. So if you unblock the queen of diamonds under the king, you finessed against the 10 of diamonds, and then you could play the ace of diamonds and pitching a club, and that'll be it. This is sort of the theme of these ones. Unblocking frequently is get the high cards. We all like to have high cards, but sometimes they're sort of a burden. They block suits. They get entries tangled up, that kind of thing. Sometimes high cards are bad and low cards are good. That's especially true on hand 11. On this card, the Queen of Diamonds was nice as a high card, but it blocked the diamond suit for East and West. So this is the theme of unblocking is sometimes you have to get rid of your high cards so you can take a finesse, so you can cash your tricks, so you can not block your suits. That's why you need to unblock at times. Um, don't be too disparaging if you're high card. They have dealt them to you for a reason. But if anybody did make six hearts at the table, very well done. If it's due to a missed defense, okay, but very well done if you've managed to follow the lesson hand and made six hearts that way. It's a tricky one. Hey, any questions on that one? Right. Okay, got it. Next one was hand number 5. Okay. This one we included it, but it's almost like a double dummy puzzle hand rather than a hand that you would expect to see in competition. However, having said that, we'll go over it and you can see why it might be the way to make 12 tricks on this hand. East is just shy of opening a no trump. They have 14 high cards. So, oops, sorry. Wrong one. East opens a diamond, much better. North is a little shy to open one spade. They only have 10 points in a flat hand. So, pass by South. West has a good hand. If you play strong jump shifts, that's great. This is probably a 2 heart bid over 1 diamond. But most people play weak jump responses nowadays, so they can't bid 2 hearts because that's weak. So they bid 1 heart. That's fine. Let's take it slow, find out what we find out. North has the points and they have 5 spades to overcall 1 spade, but the suit is so bad, I don't think you want to do it. You don't want partner to merrily lead the king of spades from king X. Uh, your overcall should be suggesting leads, especially since partner couldn't act over a diamond. I would pass here because my spade suit is so bad. If you overcall 1 spade, it's not, I can't quarrel with it too much. But I wouldn't do it because the suit's so bad. Uh, Either way, whether North overcalled 1 spade or passed, I think East should bid 1 no trump. And the West hand is very hard to evaluate now. There's no really good way to investigate whether slam is going to be ice cold or it's going to have no play. We put six hearts in the auction. It's not really important because the lesson of the hand is more in the play. The fact that you've got diamonds, which is East's first bid suit, that's an advantage. Partner might have king, queen, fourth of diamonds, whereas if they opened one club, they might be looking at like three small diamonds. This isn't the point of the hand. If you stopped in four hearts, that's fine. It's more a play thing. North, even though they've opened one diamond, the king queen jack is too attractive a holding not to lead that. You don't know where the defensive tricks are coming from, but the king of diamonds will set up your tricks in diamonds. A spade lead or a club lead might be right, but they're both speculative. Uh, I wouldn't lead this against 3-no trump, but against four or six hearts, king of diamonds is pretty normal. Okay, so what can West think on this hand? This one's sort of tricky. The bad news is that the king of diamonds knocks out the only quick entry to dummy. Um, the ace of diamonds, we have to win the ace of diamonds because otherwise they might rough it. And now dummy has no more entries. So you've got two more diamonds. You'd have one if they were 2-2, but two more diamonds to lose, probably. And one heart to lose unless you get very lucky and South has the singleton king or king X. So your first instinct, very first instinct is, oh, I'm in dummy. Let's take a heart finesse. That's not bad, but we can do better than that. A better instinct would be, okay, let's cast the ace king of spades before we take our diamond finesse. Before we take our heart finesse. Sorry, misspoke. Um, that gets rid. That's make sure you're not going to lose two diamonds, but you still have a diamond and a heart to lose. So if you made only for, no offense, but I think you misplayed it. If you made five, you did well. You recognized that you had no more entries to dummy, and you had to take your pitches before you went after trumps. However, if you sort of look, you've got two pitches on the ace king of spades. Sorry, I'm just getting back there. And okay, there we go. Okay. You have two pitches on the ace king of spades. You've got a third pitch on the clubs, but the problem is the club suit is blocked. So the way to make 12 tricks on this hand, and this is why I said it was sort of a puzzle one, is you had to notice that it's specifically the queen, the jack, and the 10 of clubs. So try this. After you win the ace of diamonds, ace of spades, and you pitch one of the high clubs. And you play the king of spades and you pitch the other high club. Now you've got three pitches coming on the clubs. You've traded your I can pitch two cards on the ace king of spades to I can pitch three cards on the queen, jack, and 10 of clubs. Clubs are probably no worse than 5-3. If they rough the third round, so be it. But you're pitching your diamond losers. Now we can take a heart finesse and we lose, but we've got the rest. As I said, this is almost a double dummy puzzle hand rather than something you'd expected to see at the table. If anybody did make six hearts by doing that, really well done. But it it's not something that's intuitive. But the point of the hand is again unblocking. If a suit's blocked, how can I get rid of it? In this case, unblocking requires pitching winner B, your ace king of club, on winners A, the ace king of spades. This enables you to unblock the club suit and get the pitches there. That one's really tricky. I would be very pleasantly surprised if anybody made six hearts at the table. And even in an expert game, I would expect many declarers to just not see it. You have to see it. It's not something that I will try and give guidelines as best we can, but sometimes you just have to see it. Okay, one more. Let's go on to, so the next one is 11. I have to cycle through to get through them. Okay. So this is another one where it's unblocking, and this one, as I sort of said on an earlier hand, low cards can be an asset just as much as high cards, and high cards can be uh, a detriment just as much as having 13 low cards can be. It's rare, but sometimes you have to be very careful to preserve your low cards, especially with respect to trumps. So suggested auction. South has got a pretty normal three diamond preempt. Nobody's vulnerable. West's hand has 18 high card. The Queen of Diamonds is probably a better card than normal, because the Diamond Finesse will almost certainly be on if I can take it. And even if it's off, North doesn't know that this is the holding, and they might lead the King of Diamonds from King Singleton King or King X. So if they're going to lead a diamond, the Ace Queen of Diamonds are two tricks. Rule of thumb when an opponent preempts is you're entitled to expect your partner to hold about 6 points. And in this case, if you run through some constructions, there are hands where East has six points, where four spades is cold, and they're not going to be able to bid over three spades. So three spades would be okay, but I think this hand is good enough to just bid four spades over three diamonds. That sounds like a weak bid. It sounds like a preemptive bid or a weak freak bid. It's not. There's a very good maximum that we don't preempt over preempts. So if we had a hand that looked like ace queen seventh of spades and a side king, that's not a four spade bid. That's a three spade bid, if that. But jumps over preempt shows a strong hand. On this hand, East is just wants to go on to the next hand. But if they had a stronger hand, and the example that we used in the commentary was pretend that the North hand is one that uh, is in East, where you've got a great hand and your partner made their jump over call of four spades. Now you could try to get the slam. The methods are sort of tricky, but at least slams it helps to investigate slam. However, on this hand, four spades, oops, four spades, pass, pass, pass. North has a really good hand, but it's not good enough to bid five diamonds, certainly. And you're not really sure enough whether you're going to defeat four spades to say double. If you bid five diamonds, I don't like it on too small. If you doubled, I don't mind it too much, but I think it's probably about 50-50 whether we're going to beat it or not. So anyway, um, opening lead, we like to lead partner suit, but this heart suit is too good. We can overrule leading partner suit on this one. Let's lead the ace of hearts. Let's lead the king of hearts. And switching to a diamond at this point wouldn't be unreasonable. This is the worst thing that can happen is you give declarer a free finesse. But for purposes of this hand, certainly another high heart is safe, and it makes things more interesting. South should probably do something informative like pitch the king of diamonds. Now, the problem is that dummy entries are almost non-existent. So you definitely, the instinct that we all have is, oh, we can just rough this low. If we rough this low, now we can't get to dummy except by conceding a club, um, unless the defense lets you in. But we want to preserve the two of spades, because the two of spades can go to the eight, and we can lead from there. So we don't, the first lesson on this one is if they did play three hearts, do not rough with the two. I said you can show off and rough with the king, but anything other than the two is what you want to do there. And that's so later on you can play the two of spades to the eight. So that was step one of unblocking. You don't really know 100% who has the ace of spades, so let's play the queen of spades. And they'll win. And again, they could play a diamond, but let's do what's called a passive defense. Again, we don't want to rough that fourth round of hearts with the two. We're saving our two. So rough that one. Now we can play the two of spades to dummy. Great. Finally, we're in dummy. Trumps are drawn. What can we do? Well, we've lost three tricks. That's the bad news. So we're going to need the king of clubs and the king of diamonds on side. So let's run through the possibilities. Let's try, if we hook a diamond, now we're stuck at, great, it wins, but we're stuck in our hand. We have no more entries to dummy. We'll have to give up a trick to the king of clubs. So the diamond, we do have to take the diamond finesse at some point, but we can't take it right away when we're in dummy. We have to go after clubs first. So what we want to do is we want to finesse clubs. We're probably going to have to do it two times. Then after we've finessed clubs two times, hopefully we're still in dummy and we finesse diamonds after we've done that. So how can we do all that? Well, we have to get pretty fancy or they have to make a mistake. If we do what seems instinctive, we either run the nine of clubs, and now if South is paying attention, they can stop you getting finessing clubs again and ending up in dummy. If they play the queen of clubs, they can cover that, and we're stuck in our hand and have to give a trick to the king of diamonds. Sorry. If we play the ten of clubs, now in that case, South plays low, and we have to win in our hand. So running the nine of clubs didn't work. Running the queen of clubs, if they don't cover, sorry, back to where we were. So sorry, once again, we're in dummy for our one and only time. If we play the queen of clubs and they don't cover and we play low, we're in the same, we have the same problem. We are going to win the next trick in our hand and we can't take two finesses. The way to take all three finesses, the club finesse twice and the diamond finesse once, is to unblock the jack of clubs under the queen. Tricky play. It's not something that you use very often. But here, because you have the queen, the jack, the 10, and the 9, they're all sort of equivalent in power. The jack of clubs, however, is in the way. So under queen of clubs, if they don't cover, we unblock the jack. Now we can repeat the club finesse. If they duck again, great, we've taken our two club finesses and now we can finesse a diamond. Great, and now our hand's good. If, sorry, go back. And if they covered the 10 of clubs, now we could get back to the dummy and take the with the 9 of clubs. And we have still have that to take the diamond finesse. This is a tricky one. Underplaying an honor under another honor is an unblock that doesn't come up very often. But sometimes you have to do it when you're dealing with maximizing limited entries. It's one way that you can take a finesse but end up in the right hand. That was about it from the four that I had as lesson hands. The big look, aside from the unblock, which if you saw it, great. Yeah, I think it's within that one's a very tricky play, but I think you should try to learn to instinctively not rough as low as possible if entries are a problem. Look into roughing with an intermediate or a high card because your low cards can be assets if they can provide entries to the other hand. So I don't know anybody actually found the nice play of playing the queen of clubs under the king. But I think even if you don't looking at the entire hand, roughing with the two of spades should be something that you don't want to be instinctive. It should be your natural play to rough with the non-two. That's the tricky one. And the other big point on this hand was that the jump over the three diamond preempt should be strong bid, not a weak bid. Don't, the easy way of remembering it is don't preempt over a preempt. Okay. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. Um, so those were the four lesson hands that we've gone over. Does anybody have any other hands they'd like to go over other than the lesson hands? And I'll put the lessons again in chat just in case you weren't here for them.
Number 12, please, the bidding.
Sure. That's good. That means I don't have to reload it. Good. Okay. I haven't seen this before, so the commentary is going to be sort of stream of consciousness, but we'll go from there. Okay. West opens one spade. North hand's a tricky one. I hate the idea of overcalling at the two level on this bad a suit. It's just so king nine fifth. If it goes pass, and partner has a singleton, we're almost certainly in the wrong spot. However, the alternatives are pass, and I've got 13. It's a bad 13, but it's still 13. Um, I sort of like double. It's not the right shape. You shouldn't usually have five hearts, but if I pretend those are four, I don't know. This is a tough problem. I think if you gave it to a panel of experts, you get votes for pass, double, or two hearts. Can I ask whoever did ask? Can I ask what
Well,
what the
they
North plays?
doubled.
You doubled?
They doubled.
I'm fine with that.
They
I
doubled,
don't think
yeah.
there's a wrong answer here. I think
Mhm.
pass is okay because you don't have a perfect anything. Double is okay because you've got decent support for the other suits and you have bad hearts. And two hearts is okay because you have five. So double
Mhm.
on this hand, two hearts, I think, is the winning action because partner has three. So let's start with a double. East has the values to, I think it's a good idea to just show your values here. You can pass, but it's going to be tough to express to partner that you have 9 high card points when you pass over the double. You might get lucky and they wander into one of the suit that you can double, but pretty much nowadays you sort of ignore the opponent's takeout doubles. You bid what you would have had they just said pass. So I think one no trump is pretty normal here. Pass. West ha West bids two clubs. If you've chosen to say double, don't pop in the second time. That shows a really good hand. So you're sort of tempted once you said double to bid two hearts here, just to let your partner know that you had a fifth one that they weren't expecting. And that actually works okay on this hand, but you don't want to do it. It shows a far stronger hand than the hand you have. Shows a hand that's 18 plus and 5 plus hearts. So once you've committed to saying double, let's put it this way. It's a lie, but you have to commit to the lie. You have to be consistent. One of the common errors is you make a choice and then you sort of change your mind. Oh, no, I maybe I should have overcalled two hearts. Well, no, you've doubled. You have to stick with that and don't try and make up with it. Oops, hang on. Stoop, hang on. Let me load that up again. Um, okay. Sorry, just getting there. Oh, Christ's sake. Sorry, I hit it too many times. There we go. The teaching tables are nice, but it's sort of difficult to navigate between deals. Okay. So one spade. I like double. One no. Pass. Two clubs. Pass. Match points, I might go back to two spades. I like the jack ten of spades. But it's still at least an 8-card club suit as opposed to a 7-card spade suit. So pass is fine there, and that'll end the auction. Um, Looking at it, it looks like clubs should lose a club, a heart, and a diamond. So clubs makes four makes four. Declara has to set up, be careful that they have to set up the spade suit um, without letting them draw the third round of trumps, but that's doable. It should make 3 or 4 clubs. Spades would lose the same, except they'd lose one more spade. And there might be a problem because you might get tapped out in spades. So clubs will play much better. It'll make 3 or 4. Spades will make 2 or 3, I think. Um, but I haven't seen the hand before. But there's problems when you're playing with only 7 spades between the two hands, and they don't split 3-3. You might end up in problems. I'd anticipate East-West playing the contract in a black suit. If North-South manage to buy it for hearts, well, their Vulverse is not, and they're going to lose at the least ace king of spades, ace king of clubs, ace of diamonds, ace of hearts. That's 6 tricks. And there's problems with if they play jack of spades to the ace, ace king, and a third spade, and they keep playing spades, East West might get a second heart trick. So 2 hearts is going to be down 1 and very well might be down 2. And down 2 is going to be a 0 board. Or if I can't see who would double 2 hearts, but if they doubled 2 hearts, that's really bad. It's a tough. North does not have an automatic choice over one spade. I think I'm with you. I'd say double. But once you've done that, don't try and show your 5-card suit. Your hand's just not strong enough. I hope that
Thank you
helped.
very much. That was great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a
Okay,
question
any
for
other
you.
hands anybody would like to go over?
Can I ask one quick question?
Of course.
I've been gone all summer, so I haven't been doing this. I love this format, but I haven't been doing it because I was been gone. So is Linda just decided to quit or?
I can't really get into it, but as far as I know, Linda's not going to be doing the lessons for a while.
Okay.
It's I can't say any more than that. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I hope
Yeah.
she's okay.
Yeah, I think she is. Yes, she's okay.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
good. She's a lovely person. I enjoyed working with
Yes,
her.
she definitely is.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to stop the sharing and stop the recording.